When a consumer struggles with a mounting stack of warning letters, debt review provides a path toward a clean slate and financial stability. This legal journey follows 4 exact phases: initiation, assessment, negotiation, and legal finalization. Before you can begin, the consumer must provide specific documentation: their payslips, 3 months of bank statements, and copies of their credit agreements. Additionally, you must be a debt counselor currently registered with the NCR. Having the correct paperwork and qualifications in place from the start is the only way to successfully trigger the legal protections the consumer needs. The process begins with the first consultation. You will interview the consumer to verify their details, review their debt, and identify any non-essential assets. Once the interview is complete, the consumer signs Form 16 to officially apply for debt review. This signature starts a 60-day legal protection period that stops creditors from initiating legal action while you work on the file. Next, Step 2 requires you to issue Form 17.1. This notice informs the credit bureaus and the consumer's credit providers of the application, and you must send it within 5 business days. You must sign this form personally. Missing this 5-day window is a common procedural error that can invalidate the consumer's protection and leave them open to lawsuits. In Step 3, you request a certificate of balance from each credit provider to confirm the outstanding amounts. By law, providers have 5 business days to respond to this request. Following these timelines correctly builds a temporary legal shield, giving you the time required to restructure the consumer's finances. After verifying the debts, we move to the affordability assessment. This is where you use the raw financial data to make a formal determination of the consumer's status. The calculation starts with net income, subtracting living expenses, and a contingency amount to get the collectible amount. From that, you deduct collection costs and your aftercare fee to find the final distributable amount. This figure determines the outcome. If the distributable amount can cover a restructured repayment plan, the consumer is over-indebted. If it cannot meet the restructured obligations, you must reject the application. This formula provides a clear mathematical basis for the application. It offers the objective proof required by the National Credit Act to move forward with the review. Once you have established over-indebtedness, you reach Step 6. You have 30 days from the original application to issue Form 17.2 and your provisional restructuring proposal. In this proposal, you allocate the distributable amount proportionally across all creditors. You can extend repayment terms, such as stretching a mortgage to 240 months, and seek lower interest rates to make the monthly payments sustainable. For Step 7, the credit providers are given 10 business days to evaluate this provisional plan. As shown here in Step 8, you must review any counterproposals or objections the creditors provide. You then use this feedback to finalize the plan for submission. In Step 9, the credit provider has a final 10-day window to either accept or reject the proposal in writing, providing their reasons if they decline. Managing these negotiations according to the statutory clock is what replaces a chaotic debt situation with a structured plan that both the consumer and creditors can follow. To finalize the process, we reach Step 10. You take the proposal to the magistrate's court to obtain a consent order. This makes the new payment terms legally binding for all parties involved. During this hearing, the magistrate reviews the history of each agreement. If the evidence shows a provider granted credit without conducting a proper affordability assessment at the start, the court can declare it reckless credit. This allows the magistrate to suspend the consumer's obligation to pay that specific debt. Step 11 involves long-term management. The consumer makes a single monthly payment to a payment distribution agency, or PDA. The PDA then pays the creditors, while you conduct annual reviews of the consumer's status. The court order prevents creditors from deviating from the agreed terms, while the PDA manages the monthly distribution to ensure the recovery plan stays on track. The final milestone occurs when the consumer successfully fulfills every obligation set out in the restructured court order. At this point, you perform your final task as their debt counselor by issuing Form 19, the official clearance certificate. Once the certificate is issued, the credit bureaus have 20 days to remove the debt review flag and all default history from the consumer's credit profile. To help you stay on schedule, you can download a timeline cheat sheet from the description below. Issuing the clearance certificate completes the legal process. It confirms the consumer has satisfied their debts and officially removes the barriers to their future financial participation.